Okay, hey, I wanted to come on here today because it is spring officially, and I have no videos for the year of 2022 on my channels. So I wanted to come through. Pretty much it's kind of like now it's the new year because it's spring, things are blooming. I have this tree outside of my window. When I moved in, it was bald because it was winter. And it's really pretty now. It has all these yellow flowers all over it. So I really feel like this tree is my tree because yellow is my favorite color. And hold on, I don't have like a picture or anything, but just hold on. Okay, so I went and I took a picture so you guys could see what I'm talking about. And I mean, it's not that important, but like, do you see? She was bald at first and now she's like, has all these yellow flowers. So I just feel like that's my tree. I don't know. Like, she's right outside my window and the leaves are falling and things like that. And I don't know, that's just my tree. I really don't know, but I really like her. I'm so glad that she has yellow flowers. There's another tree behind her that has orange flowers. So this is just really perfect. Yeah, anyway, I don't have a video yet. I just moved in at the beginning of the year to this new apartment. I like the area better. I moved up out the hood because I couldn't take that shit anymore. And I really just want to make this video. It's kind of candid. I don't have like a series of notes or anything like that, but I really kind of just want to make a impromptu or sort of like candid video in regards to my twin flame, just because I feel like this person has been on my mind a lot. And I just want to kind of like divulge. Yeah, I just want to kind of like divulge like my experience and the things that I learned and the things I had to unpack about my life, the lessons I learned as I was interacting with him. Well, I actually didn't really learn any lessons as I was interacting with him. As I was interacting with him, I was definitely in my femme fatale energy. So that was just, it's not fair. Like, it's just not fair that like I met him when I was like literally at the depth of my depression. Like, how is that fair? But anyway, I met him, and it's not necessarily like what took place like while we were interacting with each other, but what happened afterwards, or in the time afterwards up until now, current moment, March 23rd, 2022. Yeah, so not much really happened like while we were interacting with one another, and like there was no spiritual growth. I was already like on my own spiritual path before I even met him, so I feel like meeting him was kind of like a natural progression in my spiritual path because I was so spiritual already. So I don't know. I just kind of wanted to come on here really quickly because he's been on my mind a lot lately, and unfortunately, like, there's not really much of a story to tell. There's really only like the aftermath of dealing with him, because he made a choice to not deal with me, and there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing I'm gonna try to do about that. I've already tried all that I could, and at this point I am tapped out. I'm really tired, and I shouldn't have ever had to do that for any man. I really shouldn't have ever had to behave that way. So yeah, happy spring. The equinox was 2 days ago. We are officially in spring. I'm feeling good. I don't know. I'm just feeling really springy. Did my nails, okay? You can't really like tell or anything, but they're pink and glittery. They're springy. So, but yeah. Yeah, so where do I want to, I guess as I'm making this video, I will just kind of go in order of like initial meeting. Science and Leadership, Miami Herbert Business School's Master of Science and Leadership program. Master's degree? I don't know. Do I want to go back to school? I don't know. I do not know if I want to deal with school again, ever. But I just want to make a list of like how I want to go through this video. I want it to be as natural as possible. Like, I don't want to have it like how you see other videos. I just want to talk about initial meeting. I want to talk about like how I felt when I met him, being around him, the really weird energy I fell into when he left me. He left me. Like, these are facts. I'm not making this up in my head. This guy walked away from me. Literally, I watched him leave. So anyway, the energy I fell into after that happened, because that was a dark place. And then re-emerging to try and I was basically doing my healing work after I fell into that deeper depression. I'll get into the story a little bit as we go along, but basically I fell into an even deeper depression. And so in an attempt to try and get out of that depression, or as I was re-emerging from the healing and the purging and all that, that's how I led to last summer of 2021, had my Blazing Girl summer. And that was kind of I don't know, I keep telling my sister that summer 2021 was the end game for me. That was my last attempt at this bullshit that people call love. I'm sorry, I know that sounds bad, but niggas, I realized last summer, yes, I have my own work to do. Yes, I'm healing. Yes, I have my issues, but I'm not the only one that has issues. And I did a lot of work on myself to try and heal these issues. Too much work. Literally my value went up. My value skyrocketed because of the work that I did. And now it's anything that's not even near where I'm at now, the vibration, the frequency can't even be held in the same room. So it was pretty much the end game. It was my last chance, or my last experience with dealing with the basic, dealing with the mundane, dealing with the nonsense. And so I'm back to staying by myself. And if you watched my end of 2021 review video, I said I'm celibate now, which is true. I'm not celibate because I'm still a human woman. I have desires, physical desires, but there's nothing. The physical has to be in line with the mental and with the spiritual. They all have to be together. So I can't get with somebody for the physical only. It has to be all across the board. It has to be the full package. So, yeah, I'm celibate just because there's nobody worthy of entering this temple. I haven't met anyone worthy. Even the guys I was dating last summer, I was waiting for them to demonstrate worthiness, and it never happened. So I don't know. Anyway, I just want to talk about my journey. I'll get into it. I just want to write things down so I don't get too lost. Like I said, I do want it to be natural, but I also want you guys to stay with me and stay on point. So I'll just say moving to Florida is point number 1. Hitting the hotel is point number 2. Running into the twin. Oh, it's 1:11 right now too. Running into the twin. My attempt at getting close to the twin. The things I did to try and get close to him were just so. When you want to talk about somebody being immature, that was me. Summer 2020. That was certainly me. So my attempt to get close to the twin. The departure. The departure and subsequent depression. The healing work. And then the reemergence. And the retreat. I think that's the reemergence and the retreat. Moving to Florida, hitting the hotel, running into the twin, my attempt at getting close to the twin's departure and my subsequent depression, the healing work, the reemergence of myself, and my retreat back into myself. Okay, So following this storyline, I kind of just want to stay on point and kind of just share my experience of meeting my twin and what it seemed like to me. What it seemed like to me at that point when all of that was going down. Because I didn't know what a twin flame was. I just met this person and immediately was like, whoa. Like, I didn't even meet him. I saw him, and as soon as I saw him, I was just like, whoa, like, who's that? And I literally remember, because I told my sister, the very first thing I recognized or I noticed about him was his hairline. That sounds so crazy, but the very first thing I noticed about him was his hairline. Literally, I looked at him, I saw him, and I was like, whoa, like, this dude cares about himself. That was just the first thought that crossed my mind. That was the initial thought that was in my head when... that was the initial thought that was in my head when I first saw him. I was just like, wow, he cares about himself. And so I basically... I'm getting off track already. Let me just start from the beginning. I moved to Florida in summer of 2020 because, one, it was a dream that I kind of had since senior year of high school, and two, because I was my postpartum depression and depression from just living my life had built up to the point of explosion after having my baby. So I had my baby, and the aftermath, okay, disclaimer, if I fucking cry in this video, I'm a human woman, I'm allowed to cry, okay? I'm allowed to get emotional, okay? That's what I'm allowed to do. So I'm not gonna get laughed at, nobody's gonna fucking clown me. I get to do whatever the fuck I want. This is my channel, and if I fucking cry, I fucking cry. It doesn't mean I'm any less of a fucking badass bitch, okay? So, let's see. After having my baby, I pretty much I entered like into a postpartum depression because I realized at that point that I did not have the support that I deserved. Let's just be straight up, that I fucking deserved. I didn't have anybody. I had no one to lean on. I always think about like my friend Felicia. She had a baby before me, so she has a son, and I really look up to her as a mother. Because like she just seemed like she was just doing the damn thing, you know what I mean? So I really looked up to her, and she helped me out with like some advice in the beginning, and I'm really appreciative of that. My friend Mo, she moved to Texas, how she was just there and helping me like when I was still pregnant in like 6 months or so, all the way up until like birth, you know, just like the things, how she supported me even when I moved to Florida. Like, that's really one of my friends, you know. I just want to like say that because like I don't want my appreciation, like I will appreciate them for that. My sister, oh my god, the MVP. My sister, the ultimate MVP. She doesn't have kids or anything, but she did all she could to help after I had my baby. And so basically I needed support. I don't know what it is like for like other Latinos or anything like that, but in Dominican Republic, like when a woman has a baby, like the fucking whole family is in the house for like 2-3 months helping her. They're helping her get motherhood figured out. I mean, at least that's what I witnessed. So that she could, you know, get her bearings in order. She had the cousins coming over, the aunties coming over, grandma's at the house, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, I needed that too. I needed support too. But that's not what happened. I had my baby, I was in San Diego, and my parents, and I hate to like put them on blast like that, but this is the journey, this is the story. They did not support me the way I needed. They did not. And they treated me like I was supposed to know what the fuck I was doing when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was a new mom, and I didn't have the support that a new mother needed, that all new mothers need. I just didn't have it. I did not have it. And so basically I had my baby, and I'm not realizing this. I can say I didn't have the support I needed because I'm looking back now, But in the moment, I just felt bitter. Like in the moment, I'm just like, why is nobody helping me? Like, it was righteous. I didn't have the support I needed, and people wanted to get close to my creation. People really underestimate how passionate I am about my child, that I grew in my belly. That took work, my work. Like, nobody else did that shit. I did that shit by myself. Me. So my creation, literally my art, I'm very passionate about that. So motherfuckers can't just be coming around my creation and then just acting like I'm not there or treating me like I'm not the artist. Straight up. I mean, straight the fuck up. And if you've been through anything like that, then you can understand my frustration. But yeah, so I was very vulnerable, had no support, was leaning on myself. Everyone was expecting me to just know how to be a mom when I didn't know how to be a mom. So yeah, that's what happened basically after I had my baby. After I had my baby, I went back to Dominican Republic because obviously I had my baby in America because I'm not having my baby in DR, yeah. So I had my baby in San Diego, and then I went back to DR, and pretty much right when I touched down in Dominican Republic and right when I saw my baby's dad, I just knew the relationship was over. I just knew it was over. I saw him and I was just looking at him and I'm like, this man, he hasn't been faithful to me. I can just tell. I can just tell. I'm looking at him and I can tell. And I'm like, he hasn't, I can tell he hasn't been faithful to me. So I'm asking him, what's up? Who were you with when I was away? He lies about it. I know it's a lie because you can't fucking lie. I know if somebody who is my man, I'm gonna know if he has attention on someone else. I'm gonna fucking know. So he lied, and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and do the investigation. Let me figure this shit out on my own. Figured this shit out on my own. Found the little girls that he was talking to and stuff like that. Once I found that, I was just like, okay, I wanted to have my family with him. This is a man that I learned a lot from, and I appreciate him a lot. I really do love him, because of how he has helped me in my own personal life and how I'm just growing up on planet Earth. He's just he's so selfish. And I was so selfless, And so he really taught me how to be selfish. That's an Aries is gonna do that shit. But Aries taught me how to be selfish, because before I was not. And I learned that from him. I learned how to cook. I learned how to clean right. I learned how to just live more of that wild lifestyle, defeathering chickens, working in his mom's comedor. I don't know. I just knew basically that he had been unfaithful whereas obviously I was not unfaithful. I was carrying his child and doing what the motherfucker I was supposed to do as a mother for his child. And so basically when I realized I wasn't being appreciated by him, I was like, I can't continue this relationship. It wasn't even like I found out he was unfaithful and I ended the relationship. It was after I found out he was unfaithful, I tried to question him, to ask why, literally why. And I couldn't get an honest answer. And there was no way to work on trying to repair the damage. There was no way to try to repair the damage because that's not, he just wasn't on that wavelength. And I was just so torn up by the fact that he was just doing me so wrong. So when he would come home from work, I wasn't excited to see him. I would just cry. Because I'm just that's not even my man. He's not mine. He's for these fucking streets, But yeah, I'm just nope, he's not mine. So yeah, he's making all the money. Yeah, he's paying all the bills and things like that. But I can't be proud of him. I can't be like, I can't look at him and be proud that that's mine, you know? Like, that's the thing, is that, like, do people not do relationships like that? Like, I can't look at my partner and know that they ain't shit and still want to be with them. Like, no, I can't do that. That's not me. Like, you gotta be a fucking head honcho to stand by my side. Straight up. Okay, that's why I got with him in the first place, because nobody was fucking with him. He was the head honcho. Anyway, we weren't able to reconcile the damage. So, and it was getting worse, honestly. The relationship was really getting bad. He was suspecting me of all this nonsense, basically suspecting or accusing me of everything that he was doing. And I didn't deserve that either, because all I'm doing is fucking trying to be a mother right now. That's what I'm trying to do, and hold my family together. Hold my family together. And I can't even do it because the other half of the motherfucking equation isn't holding up his end. So that relationship had to obviously could not continue. So I go back to San Diego. And so the whole time that in the time after, leaving my baby's dad, obviously I'm even more like depressed and upset, because I'm just like, my fucking family just fell apart. And now I have to fucking not only try and repair that shit by myself, now I have to re-strategize my entire life and get my whole fucking life back together as a single woman with a baby. I have to do all that now. And this is all happening when my baby is like 8 months old. So I'm doing all that, and I'm living in my mom's house. I'm making all these efforts to try and improve myself. I'm trying to like get shit done. Like, I just asked her for help. I'm just like, can I do this? I have this goal. Can you help me? And she had no faith in me. That's okay. I'm literally like, I can say this now because I'm over it. At the time, that shit really hurt, because she put her faith in my brother and she put her faith in my sister, but not in me. So obviously that really strained my relationship with my mom. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, so not having my mom's support after having a baby, that strained my relationship with my mom, and honestly just strained me. It strained me as a new mother. Like, I just had nobody to turn to. Nobody. I could lean on my sister and talk to her, but I remember specifically, she had come over to our mom's house, and I was talking to her, and I told her, I just remember telling her, I was just like, I don't want to be weak anymore. Like, I remember, I was just like, I just don't want to be weak anymore. Like, I put forth the intention, basically. Like, I knew I was going to have to get some shit in tow. And I just told my sister, I'm just like, I just don't want to be weak anymore. She doesn't obviously understand what it's like to have children. She doesn't have any kids or anything like that. So she didn't necessarily understand like the postpartum new mother aspect of it. But I was really trying. You know what you mean? I was just really trying to get my shit together. I really was fucking trying. And the way my mom treated me while I was doing that, it really kind of changed the dynamic of our relationship. And so that's why I moved. Since I don't have that support, what's the point in me being here? Like, I'm like, what's the point in me being here? Like, I don't have love here. I don't have support here. I don't feel good here. So I'm like, now's the time to go ahead, take your ass to Florida. The cost of living is nothing like California. So as a new mom with limited resources, you can probably do something with your life if you do that. So that's what I did. I was talking to this girl who we had a falling out because we're just in different places in our lives. But in the beginning, I stayed with her for a total of 13 days because, yeah. So I was living with her basically in her situation for 13 days when I first got to Florida. And that's when I was just like, okay, let me hit this motel. Let's hit the motel. The motel, honestly, I remember I was just like, I need to find a place that's like not an Airbnb that I can pay for and I can afford that has a kitchen. Like, that's my my bottom line. Like, I just need a fucking stove and a refrigerator. Like, anything else is fine. But if I have those two things, we're good. So that's how I found the Beach in Town Motel. Now that I'm up out of there, I can share the name of it, because I was never going to share the name, because people be creepy online, they're going to people be stalking you online. Like, it happens. So the Beach in Town Motel, I found myself there on June 15th, Monday, June 15th, 2020. That's when I checked in. Anyway, I moved into the motel in room 107 on June 15th, 2020, and I was in there for a week. It was week by week. It's a motel, so the most you can pay for is a week. And I paid for my week, and so for some reason in room 107, the last day, so the Sunday before, like Monday when my week was up, the electricity in that room cut out, completely. No air, no TV. I can't charge my phone. I can't charge my computer. There was no electricity. So I got moved to room 117, which is my magic number. 117 is 17 in general, is my favorite number, but it just, I was in 107 and then I got moved to 117. It's destiny. Oh, and the address. Let me just give you guys the address. The address of the Beach in Town Motel is 1010 South Federal Highway. So that information, if you're into numerology, especially if you're into the whole twin flame thing, you've come across that number before. So the address is 1010 South Federal Highway. And I don't remember the day, the date of when I first saw him. I just know it had to be between, what's 15 plus 7? 5 plus 7, 22. It had to be between, the first time I saw him had to be after the 22nd. It had to be after the 22nd and before the 25th. The first time I saw him, after the 22nd of June and before the 25th of June. I don't remember the date I first saw him. I only remember seeing him and just seeing this figure of this person walking by with a crispy ass hairline. That's all I know. He was in construction clothes, you know what I mean? So it's not like he was dressed to the nines or anything. He just had his regular work stuff on. But I just knew from his hairline alone. That is so crazy now that I'm looking back. But hey, it is what it is. He was just looking so crispy, so fresh. And I was just ooh, okay. But then immediately in my brain, I'm just yeah, he probably has 5 girlfriends. He probably is, entertaining who and who, Cynthia, Rosaria. I don't know. He probably just has a lot of people that he's entertaining, just looking at this, Rico Suave. And I would, if I passed by him in the hallway, I would say hi. Well, let's really get started. He was in a group of 20 other men. So he stood out to me from all the men, because of his hairline. He caught my attention. It was literally zoop, I didn't even, it was my eyes, I don't even know. It's just something just said, look, I don't know. But yeah, he was in a group of 20 other people all wearing similar clothing. And so he stood out to me. He just stood out. And I would walk by, and because they were all I don't know if they were all Honduran, but they all were Spanish speaking men. And he was in that group. So I thought he was, an immigrant like them. I don't know. I just thought that he only spoke Spanish. So I would be I would walk by him in the hallway and be hola, and he would not say anything back. His coworkers, they would respond. The coworkers would respond to me, but he would not respond to me. So from the very beginning, you can see that he just really was not fucking with me. No, that's a lie, though. That's a lie, because on the 25th, I remember, I will never forget. I won't forget, because he's wearing a pink jacket, a pink hoodie. I was sitting outside. Again, I don't know anybody. And this is now 10 days. I got to the hotel on the 15th, and now this is the 25th. So this is a week and 3 days after I even got to the motel in the first place. And I met this man, and pretty much like he smoked, so I was hanging out with him because he smoked. And I didn't know anybody in Florida. I didn't know anybody at the hotel. Like, I didn't have any friends. And I'm like, well, we smoke. That's what we have in common. Let's hang out. And so they're at the grill. This guy and this other white boy who, his name was Dread. This skinny little white boy who clearly does cocaine on a regular basis. They were at the grill, grilling up some stuff. And they're like, you should come over. Like, cause listen, when I tell you how down and out I was, I moved to Florida with $1,100. I had actually, that's a lie. I spent $400 at the airport. So really, I had about $700 when I first got to Florida. The fact that I'm even sitting here making this, I am the baddest bitch ever. So let's just get that out of the way. Anyway, I did not have any resources. And actually, I was really pressed and wondering how I was going to be paying the next week. Like, that was my main focus. Like, how in the fuck am I going to keep this roof over my head? That's all I care about. I need a roof. I need a stove. I have to cook. I have a baby. She needs food. So I need a stove. I need a kitchen. I need a roof over my head. The homeless shelter is not an option. Even though I got to a point where I was so down bad, where I was researching the homeless shelters. I'm just like, do me and my girl gotta move in? Like, do me and my girl gotta take the suitcase to the shelter? Like, I even called them. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, like, when, I don't know how any of that shit works. But hey, at some point, I did go through that. And it was just really, I'm so resilient. Now I'm looking back, just telling the story, and I'm just like, the people who just didn't believe in me, why did you not believe in me? Why didn't you believe in me? Haven't you seen me? Haven't you seen what I've done? Like, literally all my life. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now. But anyway, I get to the hotel, and on the 25th, it's a Thursday. I'm sitting out at the grill, so it's nighttime. And at this time, now I know his name, but I'm going to call him number 4. I'm not going to refer to him by his name in this video, but I will call him number 4 because I had to call him number 4. I had to give him some sort of name because for the longest time, I didn't even know what his name was. But I just remember he was in room 110, I believe. And then basically on Thursday, the 25th of June, I was sitting outside at the grill with these 2 guys, and we're just talking, about whatever. And I noticed number 4 come out from his room because he's wearing like a pink hoodie, and he's like taking out the trash, and the grills are like by where the trash is. And so I'm just sitting in a chair like by the grill. And so when he's coming out, I even remember like what outfit I was wearing. I was wearing a shirt that's like a tank top that kind of looks like this design. It was like floral, black and floral, and like just some black jeans. I wear black a lot. And I just remember I was sitting out there, and I just saw him, like he's coming to take out the trash, and I had to look at him. Like, I can't have him walk by me and I'm not looking at him. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. It was really fucking weird. It was really weird how instantly, like, enthralled, I guess, I was with him. I don't know. It's really strange. But anyways, he went to take out the trash, and that was like the first time that I was just like looking at him. And I'm looking at him, and he's taking, so I'm just looking at him, and he has like on this pink hoodie, and he just goes to take out his trash. I didn't say hi, or did I say hi? I can't even remember if I spoke to him. I just remember like the 2 guys were talking to me, and I was like nodding my head and just looking at number 4. I'm just like, and I'm just watching him get closer and closer because I'm just like, wow, like look at him. So he throws his trash away, then he goes back to his room, and then that's it. I didn't see him again. And then I proceed to enjoy the rest of the night because, again, it's the 25th. Like, at midnight, it's my birthday. So I'm like, my baby's asleep in the room. I'm out here at the grill. So after that, I didn't see him. And it makes sense because my birthday was on a Friday. And I later learned that he would go home on the weekends. That's what I learned later. But at that time, I didn't know him. All I know is that like I wasn't seeing him. And for some reason, when I wasn't seeing him, I was like panicked. I was like, oh my God, like, am I never gonna see him again? Like, I really hope, that really sucks if I'm never gonna see him again. Like, I do not know, but these are the thoughts that were going through my head. And so I'm still seeing like these other construction workers like in the hotel, but like, where's number 4? Like, like where the fuck is he at? Because he's the important one. And I'm like, I'm not seeing him. And so I'm like, well, okay, well, I don't know what to do. And so I noticed another one of his coworkers eyeing me. He had been eyeing me for a minute. Like, he wasn't even low-key about it, like, at all. He was very obvious. And so I'm like, okay. He finally came, the other one, the little one, I don't even know what I'm going to call him. I don't want to call him by his name either, but I didn't give him a nickname. So I'll call him something for the purpose of this video. What do I want to call him? I'll just call him the little one. Okay, so the little one noticed me, and well, basically, again, I don't know anybody. I don't have any friends. Like, at this point, I'll pretty much like talk to anybody because like I'm alone and I don't know anybody. So I'll just talk to anybody. So anyways, I start talking to him, the little one. And as soon as I start talking to him, like I obviously have to ask. I'm just like, yeah, there was this guy, you know, that I noticed that was with you, and I haven't seen him. Like, where did he go? And he's telling me, he's like, well, we all get like moved to different places. Like, some people go to different states, some people go to, I don't know. And he's just like, a group of them went to Kentucky. And I'm like, Kentucky, okay? And I'm just like, well, if a group of them left and I'm not seeing the dude with the hairline, number 4, like maybe he's the group that went to Kentucky. Because again, I'm still thinking he's an immigrant. I'm still thinking that he's like not American. And so I'm still thinking that like he needs papers basically. And so I'm like, oh, I haven't seen him. Maybe he went to Kentucky. You know, you got to make his money. But then he showed up again. And when he showed up again, I promise you, when I saw him again, in that moment, I decided, I'm like, no. I'm like, I will get close to him. I don't know why. Listen, I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm still thinking he's an immigrant. I'm still thinking this, that, the other thing. But I'm just like, something in me was just telling me. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I have to get close to this person. Like, I have to. This person. I do not know why. To this day, I don't know why. But that's what happened. Basically, I knew I had to get close to him. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep talking to the little one. Because the little one has information that I need. And when I try to talk to number 4 directly, he doesn't really seem comfortable. So let me keep, trying to get information out of the little one. So we're talking, we're doing this and that. And again, at no point has my depression ended. You know what I mean? I'm still living my life. I have shit to do. My money is not in order at all. I have no money. Let's just be for real. I have no money. And I need to keep a roof over my head. So I needed money, okay? So I keep talking to the little one and stuff, and I keep trying to learn things about like number 4. And I keep seeing number 4, and I'm just like, basically I learned that he is from Florida because that's what the little one told me. He's like, yeah, he's from this place called Lucy. And I'm like, Lucy? Like, what the hell is he talking about? He's like, yeah, he's from this place called Lucy. He lives up there. And I'm just like, Lucy? And I'm like, Lucy, Florida? Like, I don't know anything about Florida. I'm trying to like Google this stuff. I don't even know why I'm at this level about this stranger. I don't know why my brain is there. I do not know, but that's where my brain was. And I'm just like, okay, Lucy, like Florida, like what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I really don't know what he's talking about. So basically, there was a reason. I finally learned his name. And I remember that even in that moment, how happy I was. Because I'm just like, that's his name? Like, okay. I can see that. Like, he's so handsome. Like, I was so, when I tell you, just cracked out over this person. Like, I don't know what happened. And that's the reason why I'm even like sharing this twin flame stuff. Because look, I'm 42 minutes talking already. And I'm not even like to the good part of the story. So